Hello everyone. So for our final project, we had to make a paint program that allowed multiple users to edit the same image. So let's just have a quick demo. So this is the first window that appears when we run the program. We have server and client. So for the server side of the application, it is driven by TCP network server class. It holds the image along with the undo and redo commands. This class basically loops in three steps. First, it checks for new users, and if a new user connects, then the program will send a packet of data containing the image and the undo and the redo commands. Also, the program listens for commands from the user, and if a command is received, then the server will apply the command on itself and broadcast the same command to all the users that are connected. uh, the client side of the application is driven by TCP network client class. It contains the GUI and the information about the application. The program constantly listens for user events such as mouse clicks or keyboard key presses and sends the corresponding commands to the server via packets while executing the commands that it receives from the server. Now, if the client loses connection with the server, then in that case, it stops sending commands to the server and executes them locally. So let's just see that. So for server, we have port number and IP address. Enter would basically start the server. Delete would clear these fields, and auto setup would use some predetermined values for the port number and IP address. So now the server has started. Let's just run the client. So for the client, again we have name, port number and IP address. Again we can enter them, and delete would actually clear these fields. Offline mode would basically allow the client to use this application without connecting to the server, and auto connect would again use the predetermined values. So this is the window that appears when the client connects. So for the GUI part, we have few filters provided. These are the few preset colors that we have provided. If the user doesn't want any color from these preset colors, then we have provided a color palette from where the user can select a color. Fill screen would basically fill this entire screen with the selected color. Undo would basically undo it, and redo would basically redo it. Now let's look at the filters. So filters would again apply the filter, invert, and then brighten it, and then darken it. And also the application provides to draw on the canvas by using the mouse and dragging it, left clicking the mouse and dragging it. And there's one other filter that is flip, so this would basically flip the image upside down. So yeah, this is how it would work. Again, undo would undo it, and redo would redo it. So this is the basic functionality. Now for multiple clients, again let's just see and try to connect another client. Again I would use auto connect, so we can see that the same window is provided for this client as well. Again, this client could actually undo it and redo it. So again, basically the same functionalities. So apart from this GUI window, we have also provided some shortcuts from the keyboard. So the user has access to keys such as number keys from 1 to 8, which basically select any of these 8 colors. um, they can press keys head for undo and Y for redo, and the spacebar is used to provide the same functionality as the fill screen. So if I press spacebar, it would fill the screen, Z would undo it, Y would redo it. So yeah, and again let's say if I select red, and if I press 3, it selects red and I can draw. So this is the basic functionality, and escape would basically close the window. So we implemented filters as our extra features, and so these basically inherit from command class and is constructed with a reference to the app here, and string for command and filter type. So on execute, it basically executes the filter that is provided. So here we can see gray sepia, so it basically executes that, and it also holds undo references of an old image. So for talking about our tests, Our test for the app focused on whether or not the drawing, clear, and filter features were affecting pixels correctly. For the networking portion of our project, the test checked that the insertion and extraction of client data and server data from a SFML packet contains all of the correct data. Lastly, we did tests to make sure that the client could join the server, that clients could receive data, and that the correct commands were being broadcasted to all clients. Talking about the improvements, the implementation of our extra feature is not really scalable. So it's like adding an extra if statement to the filter command class is not really a good design, but is faster for smaller project. To improve scalability, the filter class should be an abstract class that inherits from the command, and then filter type should be its own concrete class. Additionally, enum should be used to classify the filters and commands instead of strings. The project could be split into a model view controller design pattern to allow us to add new features without having to rewrite a significant portion of our existing code. So this was our overall project. Hope you liked it. Thank you so much.